Could you try to make yourself more neutral in your hip speed? Like if you just, can you feel that?
Like
that?
tighten your
Yeah,
belt
like-
normal.
Then
Yeah,
his then
like
his
that
his
looks
his,
good.
his lumbar gets really flat.
Squeeze those cheeks.
Crack a walnut.
There you go.
Alright, so
So this
Why
makes
do you
more
squeeze
noise.
his butt cheeks to correct anterior tilt?
To extend his hips.
Yeah.
There you go. Good, we're neutral. So a little bit of anterior tilt right there, like just normal posture. And then moving up,
Lumbar lordosis.
Anterior
Yeah.
is it excessive or is
No.
it normal or?
Go ahead and relax.
What do you
Stop
think?
trying to-
It's
Try
not
to just
excessive.
relax.
So I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Excessive.
Excessive, what do you guys
Curious.
think? No?
Stand where I'm standing.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. That's pretty good. We want some lordosis, right?
Yeah.
Think about like excessive, you're really like.
Like you see like
They're almost like a
throw
ram.
it.
Yeah,
Throw
exactly.
it
Like
back.
a chicken.
He's got some scapular anterior tilt.
Not you.
Okay, so moving up. Can you guys see the scapula coming forward in this position? Just
Yeah,
a
they
little
probably
bit?
Upward
forward.
rotation.
Yeah. And then what's going on, let's go down the arm, so shoulder, is there any elbow flexion, extension,
Slight elbow
abduction?
flexion.
A little bit, yeah. And then what about his hands, what's happening here?
Oh,
They're
pronated. Little pronated.
Okay, they're pronated, so we got the elbow flexion, forearm pronation. Is he flexing in the shoulder at all, or is it pretty straight?
It looks like it's going right through the acromion.
Yeah, within normal limits, yeah. And then what else is happening? Anything else in the shoulder?
A little bit of internal rotation.
Internal rotation
A little
of the
bit.
shoulder, okay,
But it looks, I mean, it looks to me like the acromions pulled forward a little bit.
yeah. And we definitely, we know like anteriorly, like his arms are, going in, more so the left. So, but in this plane, you can really tell like his arm is pretty straight, so it might not be internal rotation more than like pronation of the forearm
Yeah.
versus the left side. Okay. All right, what else?
Going
Let's
back
go.
to the scapula, kind of hard to tell without like actually putting your hand on, but it might be more of a protraction rather than an anterior tilt. If he was anterior tilted, it might set the humerus back into looking like it's a little bit more extended. And then remember, if the scapula is protracted a little bit more, that's gonna change the angle of rotation, so it might create like a pseudo internal rotation. So his GH joint might or might not still be neutral, but if the scapula is protracted more, it would make it look more that way. So just, those are the finer little things. What about asymmetries from left to right? Are we really able to tell asymmetries just in general for people in this position?
No.
No.
Yes,
Make
so
me-
there are ones you can catch. For him, he's not, but if one knee was flexed more than the other, if one foot was more forward or posterior compared to the other, as well as like the hand could possibly coming out further on one side. If there was more of a trunk rotation, you could also probably catch that here. So there are asymmetries you can catch, but for him, he's not really displaying any of those. He's pretty
Symmetrical in that aspect. All right, let's go on to the head. What's going on there? Is he protracted? Is he retracted? Is there any rotation you can kind of tell here?
Maybe slight forward head.
Slight forward head.
Slight, right?
Yeah.
Very slight.
How's the ratio between his ear and the acromion? So if you think about like really forward head posture, you know, everything would be really, really forward. So it's not like too bad, right? Pretty good posture.
Slightly.
Just slightly.
Where is his gaze? Is he looking straight forward?
Yes.
So if his gaze is straight forward and he's having slight cervical increased flexion, then where is there another compensation to mention in the head? Yeah, the suboccipital region is probably a little bit excessively extended to compensate
questions in this plane? No?